We're learning more about an officer-involved shooting in Georgia, the confrontation that led to the death of an Elberton man.
And a candidate for Spartanburg County Sheriff is responding to a video released by the current sheriff. Why Russell Lynch is asking questions about other use of force cases in the sheriff's office.
Plus, 11 days away from the election, an October surprise. Why the FBI is taking a new look at Hillary Clinton's emails. Your news starts right now.
Live from the news station, this is 7 News at 7.
We start right now with breaking news here on 7 News at 7. At least 3 fire departments were called to battle this fire in the Glassy Mountain area. This is off of South Carolina Highway 11. According to the Forestry Commission, a bulldozer was used here to help contain the flames. It appears a fire at a house spread to the woods. They appear to have it under control tonight. And new details tonight in an officer-involved shooting that left an Elberton man dead.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says 24-year-old Edwin Maldonado was shot and killed during a traffic stop Thursday night when he reached for a state patrolman's gun. 7 News' Addie Hampton has more.
In a release today from the GBI, it says when that trooper pulled Maldonado over, he found he was driving without a license and suspected he was driving drunk. The arrest escalated pretty quickly. We also spoke to a woman who was feeding her horse in a nearby field. She heard the whole thing go down.
I heard someone stop on the highway out here. I couldn't see him because I was way back there behind the trees, so I just, didn't think nothing of it.
Arlene Thomas was out feeding her horses Thursday night in the field next to Red Hill Road and Hartwell Highway. She figured someone had car trouble.
So I heard because people talking, and then just a little while I heard a gunshot, and I thought, well, probably just a backfire,
It wasn't until she saw a steady stream of blue lights.
Cop car after cop car just coming and coming.
She realized something was very wrong.
Eventually the ambulance came and they just drove up in there and they just parked. So I thought it didn't look good.
Friday, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation filled in the details of a traffic stop gone bad. They say a patrol officer out of the Hartwell post pulled over 24-year-old Edwin Maldonado near the Georgia Guidestones in Elbert County around 7:45. The GBI says the trooper tried to arrest Maldonado for driving without a license and suspected DUI when he began to resist, eventually trying to reach for the trooper's gun belt. That's when they say the trooper shot Maldonado once in the torso, killing him. For Thomas, who's fairly new to town, this whole thing is a shock.
I didn't realize that there was that kind of crime around here. Little town Elberton doesn't seem like, we've never had any concern or nothing.
As mentioned, that trooper is still on leave per policy tonight. The GBI says they're going to continue to investigate this incident, and once that is completed, they will hand over their findings to the district attorney for this area. I'm reporting in Hart County tonight. Addie Hampton, 7 News.
Tonight, candidate for Spartanburg County Sheriff Russell Lynch is speaking out after Sheriff Chuck Wright released video to 7 News of a former deputy fired for kicking an inmate.
Now Lynch is bringing up questions about other use of force cases in the sheriff's office. Brianna Smith has been digging into those cases and she joins us now.
This case is really confusing and ongoing, and we want to show you the very latest. Now, Sheriff Wright did release a video to me yesterday of Brian Blaylock stomping on an inmate's foot while he was detained in a cell. Today at a press conference, Russell Lynch outlined an incident that happened on I-85 last year when a deputy had a canine bite. An inmate was trying to escape. It was ruled that that deputy violated excessive force policy. He was suspended and his canine was taken away for 7 months. It's those differences that Lynch has an issue with.
Bringing back the Internal Affairs Review Board and then going with the board's recommendations and ad-libbing from that, maybe when necessary, but you can't set a standard to where this one gets terminated for this and this one doesn't.
And we did talk to Sheriff Wright about it. He says that incidents are different, and that's why those policies were different and why also that punishment was different as well. Back to you.
Anderson police spent this Friday looking for clues and interviewing victims from a series of shootings Wednesday morning. Today we're learning new details about what the investigators faced when they arrived there at 3 separate crime scenes. In police reports, authorities say they found a woman lying on a floor at a home on Gamewell Court. She had been shot in the foot. Another officer described the scene inside a home on Montague Street as bloody and found 2 gunshot victims huddled together in a bedroom. In total, 6 people were shot and taken to the ER. One of the victims was a 13-year-old who remains in the hospital tonight. So far, no arrests.
An autopsy is shedding light on the death of a missing boater found at the bottom of Lake Russell. The Abbeville County coroner says Mitchell Gibson's cause of death was freshwater drowning. He also says there was no trauma present, making foul play unlikely. A private dive company discovered Gibson's body. We're going to go now to CBS. They have a special report. Now, of course, we interrupted programming because we've waited all day to hear what Hillary Clinton had to say about these latest announcements from the FBI, and we have it.
And we will be back with your local news.
South Carolinians who were hardest hit by Hurricane Matthew got some help today from the state.
The state had Team South Carolina Day in Marion County, where some of the worst flooding occurred. State and federal agencies and volunteer groups were all there so people could get help at one location. Governor Nikki Haley was there packing up boxes of relief supplies and answering people's questions.
I mean, I wish I had a miracle, and that's the painful part, is I don't. And I wish I could tell them that we're going to make them whole, and I can't. What I can tell them is we're not going to leave them. You know, anything and everything that we can possibly do, we're going to do.
There will be a second Team South Carolina Day for the Low Country. That's happening next Wednesday in Jasper County. And there will be a third one after that, but the location and time haven't been announced yet.
Meanwhile, in North Carolina, the death toll from the hurricane has risen to 28. Governor Pat McCrory says a Kinston man died from injuries he sustained during the storm. Hundreds of people are still in shelters, though all school systems will have reopened by Monday. Flood damage also is being blamed for big job cuts in the area. AT&T says the damage to its facility is part of its reason for shutting down a Goldsboro call center. 95 employees there will be laid off in January.
All right, we're live here at Boo in the Zoo in Greenville, and of course we're having a great night. Look at all the people streaming by. Everybody say hello, wave, yay! A lot of trick-or-treaters tonight, heavy on the superheroes. I've seen the Riddler, I've seen Amelia Earhart, I've seen a construction machine like a bulldozer, a caterpillar. We've got all kinds of great costumes walking by, and people having lots of fun. And they're all commenting about how the weather really couldn't be much better. It's a comfortable night out here. Boo in the Zoo goes on tomorrow and also Sunday if you didn't have a chance to come out tonight. So it's a warm afternoon. We have a warm weekend on the way, and meteorologist Dan Bickford is standing by to tell us more all about it. Dan?
Yeah, we're not usually this warm going into Halloween. We'll show you that we're going to be close to record highs over the weekend. Sunny, very warm days on tap for the days ahead with clear, cool nights. Although it'll be relatively cool, we're still talking temperatures that are going to be above normal for this time of year, and more dry weather on the way really for the next several days. If you're checking out leaves this weekend, though, peak color right now is at elevations around 3,000 feet in both Carolinas, and the color's almost peaking from 2,000 to 3,000 feet. So some of that color change has dropped levels. Even if you go to the Blue Ridge Parkway to the higher levels where we're past peak, you can still look down and see color down below. So should still be a good weekend to check that out. Mostly clear skies across the southeast right now. We did have a weak front pass through last night into early today. That has sagged to our south. That will fall apart. High pressure takes over. We're clear and cool as you get up tomorrow morning, and we're looking for a sunny and very warm day. That will mean near record highs for many. We will have another very similar day on Sunday. We start off clear and quiet Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. We're back to another day of record warmth possible. A front stays up north near the Ohio Valley. It's not headed our way. How about those records? Well, forecasting 83 for tomorrow for GSP. That would be a degree short of the record. 85 for Sunday. That would beat the record of 83 set in 1950. So we're going to be close to, if not over, record territory going through the weekend. Same goes for the mountains with forecast highs near 80 the next couple days and records pretty much in the same ballpark. And we're going to see similar conditions for our highs actually on Monday. Monday's highs look to match what we'll see Sunday, and that will put us in record high territory for Halloween as well. 60s right now in Gaffney and Lawrence, still 79 in Elberton. It's 71 now in Spartanburg. More 60s in the mountains. Franklin clear down to 58. Very dry air. Once that sun goes down, sometimes temperatures fall pretty quickly in a few spots. 77 though still in downtown Greenville. Upper 60s at 9 o'clock, mid 50s first thing in the morning. Look for a high of 83 tomorrow. And in Asheville, 67 presently. Will continue to fall through the 60s this evening. You'll have some 40s first thing in the morning before you get back up to 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Here's your next 72 hours. Mid 80s then Sunday and Monday. A whole lot of sunshine. Lows are going to be generally in the mid 50s, perhaps a few upper 50s. We'll roll in the rest of the week here. Slightly cooler with a weak front passing by on Tuesday, but even then, we're still close to 80 degrees. Lower 80s, still dry Wednesday, Thursday. A stronger system could drop us back into the 70s. That's still above average on Friday with more clouds. tiny chance of a raindrop or two. Very similar to yesterday, where most folks were dry, but we did have a couple of isolated showers. We could see that with that next system going into Friday. And in the mountains, we're looking at temperatures close to 80 as we go through the weekend and into Halloween. Some lows in the 40s before those come up into the 50s. And then we're looking at 70s going into next week, with weather trying to turn cooler on Friday. Even though it's going to be a little cooler going into next weekend, at least initially, we're still looking at above average temperatures.
All right.
Dan, thank you for that. Next on 7 News, a new birth control method, and this one is for men.
And take a look at what's on TV tonight on CBS and the CW. For years, the standard in birth control has involved things like abstinence, condoms, along with pills, shots, and other invasive treatments for women.
But now men could have another option. The World Health Organization says a new study shows men can also take birth control shots. Tests found the hormone therapy to be 95% effective, but it has side effects like depression and muscle pain. Still, more than 75% of the participants were open to using this method of contraception.
Tonight, BMW is recalling more than 154,000 of its vehicles for a wiring problem that could cause a gas leak or engines to stall. This involves 2007 to 2012 5 and 6 Series sedans and X5 and X6 SUVs in the U.S. and Canada. The recall is expected to begin December the 5th. Owners can get free fuel pump module replacements at their local dealership.
Tonight, for the first time in 71 years, a World Series game will be played at Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Cubs and the Cleveland Indians are tied at a game apiece. The teams worked out at Wrigley Field yesterday. This is the first World Series for the Cubs since 1945. They haven't won it in 108 years. The last championship for the Indians was in 1948. Straight ahead, Taco Bell wants you to stop by next week for lunch on the house. Hear what the big promotion has to do with the World Series.
Straight ahead on Scene on 7, Thriller on stage, just in time for Halloween. We're taking you backstage to see I'll Be Back Before Midnight, tonight at 7:30.
Taco Bell is making good on its World Series inspired Steal a Base, Steal a Taco promotion. Next week, it's giving away free Doritos Locos Tacos.
And it's all thanks to Cleveland Indians shortstop Francisco Lindor, who stole second base in the first game Tuesday. You get to stop by any U.S. Taco Bell location next Wednesday, November the 2nd, between 2 and 6 p.m. and claim your free Doritos Locos Taco.
Walk up to the stand and say, batter up.
Yes, that's a good time. Well, we thank you for watching. Lots more at 10 on the CW. We're back at 11. Until then, you can stay up to date with the 7 News app and WSBA.com.
We hope you have a great weekend. Scene on 7 coming up next for you. Good night.
7 News is always on air, online, and on the go. We're proud to be the news station.